Welcome to Shots and Chops. Taylor here.
And I'm Chad.
And WWE gave us an early Christmas gift this year.
Yeah.
They released the 2018 Year-End Awards. I've never rolled my eyes so much in my life.
I haven't either. I used to be a 13-year-old girl.
Wow, that's weird. So what we're going to do here is we'll list off what WWE had listed and what they said, and we will do a agree or disagree. If it's disagree, on my behalf, I go in and explain to why. If I agreed, I just kind of left it and say, "Yep, I'm a mark. I agree with you."
WWE.
Yep. And then you can also do along in the comment section. Tell us if you agree or disagree. So we're going to start this list off with Superstar of the Year. WWE had Braun Strowman.
They had Braun Strowman,
Ah.
and I disagreed with that. I think he could have been Superstar of the Year. I think he did some cool things. He's always flipping over semis or a grappling hook, but they didn't book him quite right. Him losing to Lesnar twice hurt him too bad. I don't think he got it. So I went with AJ Styles. I think he had the more dominant run. He's the champion and a lot better matches.
Right, and I had originally agreed with WWE and saying Braun Strowman, and then before we started taping or filming, we had talked about what we were going to do, what we were going to say a little bit, and I totally forgot about AJ Styles, and I agree with Chad. AJ Styles should be the Star of the Year. From there, we move on to the Female Star of the Year. WWE listed Becky Lynch. Agreed.
I agree.
Yeah. Breakout year for her, really. The man. Couldn't
Right.
screw that one up.
Yeah, right now she's maybe a Superstar of the Year, male or female, right?
Yeah, sure. Next on the year-end awards, WWE had the best tag team of the year. They had the Bar listed. I agreed.
And I agree.
I agreed. They are the Bar.
They're the Burr.
All right, moving on to Breakout Star of the Year.
Breakout Star of the Year, and they chose Elias Sampson. I agree.
I disagreed. Maybe if the category was Superstar with potential that was wasted, Elias would get it. I would like to see Ronda Rousey maybe get this, or anybody from 205, really.
Good point.
And then we move on to the most underrated. WWE had picked Naomi. I said, sure. I could go either way. She did lose a lot of her momentum at the end of the year. I also went with, you could have went with Elias at the beginning of the year, or again, anyone with 205.
It's true. I went with Dash and Wilder. I think they're a great tag team. They are being pushed like they should be. They're not being used to their fullest potential. I know they are hurt in the beginning of the year, but still, they're my most underrated of the year.
All right, this is where the eyes really started rolling here for us. Return of the year. WWE had listed Dean Ambrose, excuse me, and I disagreed.
I also disagreed. It's crazy.
We both went with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
He had to fight so hard to get back to where he was after retiring, and I don't know why Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, wasn't even out that long. They said Daniel Bryan was never going to wrestle again.
Yeah.
And that guy did everything that he could to wrestle, and he's back. WWE. WTF. The next one on the list is Best on the Mic. They went with Paul Heyman. I agreed. I don't think it's fair. He's not there all the time. He's been with the business like, 70 years. But the only note that I put is Becky Lynch is getting really good with their promos, but she's not quite there yet.
I disagreed. I feel like if WWE was to have these categories every year, Paul Heyman would eventually be in one prior to this. So I went The Miz. Miz is constantly good on the mic. And if it could go to a play-by-play guy, I'd give it to Corey Graves. Yep. And then we go on to Best Rivalry of the Year. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns is what they said.
Is that what they said? I believe I agreed with that one. But if NXT was in here again, I would go with Ciampa and Gargano. The rivalry took forever, and it was kind of nice to see Roman finally win it. But if that's rivalry of the year, it's a pretty sad year for the WWE.
I'll agree with you on that. I did disagree with them, and I'm going Daniel Bryan and The Miz. The package into the match at SummerSlam was good. The payoff maybe wasn't as good. Maybe some missed potential there. But have we talked earlier and said that the rivalry could continue with Daniel Bryan being the heel, and The Miz being more of a face. We could see maybe a WrestleMania payoff.
That could be big.
Yeah.
Next on the list is Diss of the Year, which WWE went with Ronda Rousey. And what did she say again?
Yeah, this was a promo against Nikki Bella where she said that the only door that Nikki has ever knocked down was to John Cena's bedroom door.
Which was a great diss, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good one.
The only note I have again on this is that on Twitter, if Twitter disses count, Becky Lynch is the man at that. She's been dissing everybody she's going to, if it's Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, whoever. If you don't have her on Twitter, missing out.
Yeah. So then we move on to Match of the Year. WWE has Becky Lynch versus Charlotte at Evolution. I disagreed. Starting this channel late in the year that we have, we didn't really take notes throughout the calendar year for me to have a better argument. But I do feel like WWE is really doing the women's division. They're doing it well, but they're wanting to shove it down our throats in the sense of it's going to be the first ever Royal Rumble women's, first ever TLC, Elimination Chamber, rumors of them main eventing WrestleMania this year. I just think they need to pump the brakes a little bit, and that's just kind of where I stand on the whole best match women's thing.
I disagreed also. I went with Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander. I know it's not like didn't have the most biggest implications or anything like that, but as far as matches going, and it happened in Australia, and Buddy Murphy won, and it was a big feel-good story, a huge pop. It was in a match I've been watching wrestling a long time that I got excited for, so that's hard to do. So that's why I went with my opinion that it was Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, that was a good match. Shocking moment, WWE Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy when Randy Orton used a screwdriver in the earlobe of the gauges of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I agree. I can't even watch it.
I agreed with him. I had to look away. This is coming from someone who can watch the Sid Vicious leg break over and over again. I did look away from this for some reason. I just did not like it. So. Then we go into GM of the Year.
GM of the Year, they went with Paige. I disagreed, and I'm going with Kurt Angle. I think him coming back, he gets in the ring and wrestles. I think he's just more fun than Paige.
Yep. I simply wrote, I don't care. I can't care.
The next on the list is most hated. WWE went with Baron Corbin. I agree. I guess I don't know.
I wrote disagree and don't care also, but I do like when Roman Reigns comes out, he gets booed. That makes me smile. Yeah. Move on to brand of the year. Who had the better year? SmackDown, Raw?
Well,
what did WWE say?
Well, WWE went with Raw.
That's right, pal. Raw. The flagship show.
I disagree.
Disagree.
SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't. If they don't do NXT in awards, whatever, NXT is the better brand of all three. But if they're doing the two, yeah, SmackDown's a better show.
And like I said, we were talking before. The only reason WWE could have said this is because they swept at the Survivor Series.
All right, at the end of the list here, funniest moment of 2018 happened early this year with the greatest Royal Rumble. Titus O'Neil slipping and falling is what they have on there.
Yes.
And yeah, I agree.
That is the funniest moment.
Between Corey Graves and Michael Cole's reaction to it, the slip and fall itself, the overplay, later coming out with the shirt.
Sure.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. It was funny.
Yeah. Poor on him. Kind of ruined and kind of made his career there for a little bit.
Yeah, made him relevant for a little bit. And this one, this last one, WWE I think left off or forgot to add it. Worst wrestler of 2018. I'm sure they would agree with Shots and Chops.
Yes.
Bobby Lashley, the worst.
Is the worst. I agree. Just he's a huge bust for the WWE in my opinion.
He is. Waste of payroll, if you ask me. I think later we'll do a who top 10 list of to free up money. I think he'll be on my list.
Yeah, he probably.
Yeah,
he might be up there. I think.
Yeah. So that is the 2018 Year-In Award. Thanks for joining us here at Shots and Chops.
If you like that video, you can follow us on Facebook at Shots and Chop Wrestling. Remember to like, subscribe, and to chop that notification bell.